Welcome to Deep Thought, seeing things for what they are. See things, and this is very important. I've talked about this before. I've talked about this several times before, but you know how I do. I might talk about something several times and still keep talking about it. You got to see things for what they are. You know, a lot of times we see things or we observe reality, but instead of seeing stuff for what it is, we project what we want onto it. Like many of us are guilty of projecting onto someone else a certain personality. Or we're guilty of seeing a situation and seeing what we want to see, usually something that benefits us. We don't see what's really there. We don't, as a group, sometimes we don't want to, because a lot of us are so caught up in our own ego, we're projecting onto situations, onto people, and all of that. You know, one of the best ways to get through life is to see things as they are, and then you can respond to it. When somebody, treats you a certain way, you got to see it for what it is. It's usually a bad thing, isn't it? It's usually a bad thing when somebody's treating you a certain way, they're treating you poorly. You know, some people ignore it. Like in relationships, I've seen this all the time. I've seen this so much, it's really scary to me. No, it really is scary to me. You know, you get somebody they in a relationship, they treat it poorly. Some people will ignore that, you know, they want to keep a companion, steady sex, whatever. They'll ignore everything. They'll have blinders on. They'll see what they want to see. But you got to see things as they are. In that relationship example, people are being treated poorly by their mate. They need to see that's what it is. You know, and they try to tell themselves, oh, no, that's just how they show love or something. You know, they emotionally abusing you. Oh, no, they really love me. I've seen that with a lot of people. Or they will ignore situations where they forced to see what it is. You know, they will ignore it. That's just with mates. That's with people. That's when your situations that's going on materially, you know. You could ignore it for whatever reason. I'm going to tell you what, going through life, you got to really look at things. You got to see. You got to have what some people in some communities would call a third eye. You got to see what's really there, how that person's really behaving, how that situation is really coming about. You got to see the real, the authentic. What is the real? What's really happening here? How's this person, like, let's be real. A lot of times we do not see people the way they are. More than anything else. We might see a situation because there's more a static or something. But usually they got to deal with the person. Let's just be real with it. We don't see the person as they really are. They're doing some rotten stuff to you, but, you know, for whatever reason. Like on my men's channel, right? I've talked several times about a man really seeing a woman that, like, you know, don't let her beauty, like, don't put that beauty on a pedestal or something. Like a lot of men, they don't see that woman's evil. They just see the beauty. A lot of women too. A lot of women get that guy, he got the things that they want. You know, he might have a lot of money and all that. They don't see he treating them evil. You know, they don't see this person's not good for them because they thinking about the other stuff. You know, they thinking about maybe the benefits. They ignoring some things, seeing what they want to see. You know, but going through life, you got to be honest. You got to be first. You got to be honest with yourself, who you are. You know, because sometimes people see something in themselves that's not really there, or they projecting something, want something to be there. You know, but it's not. You know, you got a lot of people might think they're more, there's a whole lot of people think they're more attractive than what they really are. They're not really seeing themselves. They can think it all they want. And yeah, I say embrace think differently, but they ain't being realistic. You know, they lying to themselves on different things. It was like they might think one thing, but people seeing something totally different. You know, they seeing it. They seeing something within you. So it's like first within yourself, you need to see things as they are, but then you need to see how things are around you. You know, Because I'm going to tell you what, and one of the best ways to do that is take your emotion out of it as best as possible. As best as possible. You know, that can be difficult because everything's emotional. But as best as possible, take your emotion out of it and say, okay, what's really here? No matter how much it hurts. See, one of the issues is, yeah, it can hurt you to see how a person really is, especially if you develop some closeness with them or see a situation. But you got to take your emotion out of it. You got to take your emotion out of the situation and try to see what it is, not what you projected is, not what you want to be, what's really happening. And it's tough. Now, I'm going to be real. It's tough. It takes practice to get to the point where you can put your ego to the side, your emotion to the side, and usually your ego. Put your ego to the side and see what's actually happening. And your ego, you know, your ego is important. It's there to defend you. It's there to defend you and everything. But what, you know, you don't want it to defend you to the point you don't see it. See, your ego will lie to you, but sometimes you got to put that to the side and see what's up. Because when you can see a situation for what it is, it can't really harm you. Because then you can respond in a way that's helpful. When you see something bad going on, whether it's a person, a certain situation, shoot, even materially, say you living in a house, you got a bunch of mold in there and everything, and you try to ignore it. But you know what? It's mold. It could be a problem. Even in that situation, or your, your job situation, you see that your job is killing you. You see it. You see that your job is killing you, but you try to find you try to tell yourself, lie to yourself, say, oh, it's a great thing, knowing it's killing you, knowing you taking a bunch of medicines or pills or something to deal with it, or you doing things to deal with it. Instead of saying, you know what, this is a fucked up job. Let me get off of it. You know? Because that's what it really is. Or you got some jacked up people in the job really hurting you. They ain't really your friends or something. Hey, you got to do it. You know? And it's tough. It's tough. It takes practice. Because like I said, your ego, your emotions are involved. So you got to sit back and be like, okay, I got to put all that to the side. It's tough. I ain't going to lie. It's tough. But it's something that has to be done. It's something I practice and stuff. And trust me, it took practice to get to that point. When stuff happens, I practice to the point I can sit back and say, okay, what's really happening? And I'm still practicing. That's a lifetime practice right there. Because you still got your emotions, you still got your ego and everything. And just, like I said, you especially have to have it when you're dealing with people. Because many of us lie to ourselves and say, oh yeah, that person likes me. No, they don't. No, they don't. Yeah, that person, potential mate, or what you think of as a potential mate, yeah, they really do like you. Like they text you back one word answers and stuff like a week later or something. Oh yeah, they really like you. Come on now. So anyway, you got to see things for what they are. You got to be seeing things for what they really are going through life. It takes practice, but once you do, it actually frees you. Because then you can read people. It opens your third eye. You can really read people and situations, all right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. Y'all have a good weekend, all right? Peace and blessings.